going on? Charlie here.
I'm Jean.
Thanks for tuning in to Multicasking. We're back today with a Union Horse Reserve out of Kansas City. It's a Kansas City Distilling Company, or Union Horse Distilling Company out of Kansas City. Union Straight Rye Whiskey. Because it says straight, we know it's 2 years, but because it's a non-age statement, legally it must be at least 4 years, 100% rye, plus, wait for it, we're going to have a talk about corning today.
Yes, we are.
So yeah, straight rye whiskey. Jean, what you getting on the nose?
Well, I get a little bit of the rye bread.
Oh, rye bread.
Yeah, get rye bread. Fresh baked rye bread.
Yes, we actually just bought a loaf of rye bread a week or two ago, just to remind ourselves what rye bread tastes like. So it's in this glass.
Yeah. Maybe a hint of dill.
Clove. Yeah, not too much. It's what's the deal for me now that I've reminded myself about the bread. It's the dill from the bread, not the dill spice or dill pickle. Oh, that's a nice nose now. I like this better now than I did on the neck pour. Spearmint.
Yeah, a heavy spearmint.
Touch of leather, oak, caramel. It's sweet. It smells sparky. What's the ABV? I did not say. I think it's 45. The correct answer is 46.5
46.
ABV, so 93 proof.
Yeah, there's a lot of spearmint in here.
A lot of experiment?
Spearmint.
Spearmint! A lot of experiment.
Somebody has really experimented up in this glass.
They put spearmint in. That's how you get spearmint, is by experimenting.
I'm going in.
Have a go with. So yeah, we just redid the bourbon. We'll put a link to that in the description if you want to see, or up here, one of the two, if you want to see the bourbon side of this.
I'm somewhat disappointed in the flavors.
Well, it's obviously a rye.
Yeah.
Right off the palate. You get the rye bread, you get the sparkiness. You know, if I'm one thing, I'm a rye guy.
You are a rye guy.
I know what you're saying. It's not punchy in the mouth, sparky, but it's definitely rye. It's like
it tastes like it noses to me.
Yes.
Yes. Everything that I was getting on the nose, I am getting on the palate. There's nothing really. I mean, I'm getting the spearmint. I'm getting the rye bread.
Clove. But I think you're like me, where you like it to nose one way, taste a different way. Add water, it goes to a different direction, and this doesn't do that.
Yeah, I like a roller coaster of flavors. I like to be able to eat it with a fork. I think I said that once or twice before.
Yeah, well this, ooh, what is that note now? There is a chalky note now in my mouth.
I get a little bit of butterscotch, actually.
I don't get any butterscotch, but
I mean, it's down deep.
That's what the chalkiness is. No one's gonna remember this, but once upon a time there was cigarette candy. It kind of tasted like chalk. Remember that cigarette candy?
Yes.
You go to your candy store.
There were two kinds, but you're talking about the little sticks.
Yeah, they come in that's marketing. You know, Phillips, Marlboro, or whoever owns Marlboro. It was marketing. You go to the candy store, you buy a pack of candy cigarettes, and they're kind of this chalky candy, and that's what's in my mouth now.
There was two kind of candy cigarettes. One of them had like the paper around it, and if you blew through it,
wow, that's right.
It had the puff of smoke that would come out of the sugar, the puff of sugar.
I forgot all about those. But they never marketed towards children.
No.
So,
no.
Wow. And you thought I told a story about our age in the last episode. Yeah, there you go, folks. Completely forgot about that time. Wow. And the chalk candy had the end of it was always red or pink.
Yeah. Yep.
So I add water, I get convection sugar now.
Yeah, I'm getting that sugar.
Which I like out of a rye. I like out of a bourbon too, but
this to me noses better with a drop of water.
Yeah.
Just because it has more of the rye notes, it seems like it brought that out more. They were a little bit more subtle before. Yeah,
they were. The powdered sugar's strong now for me. The cloves there. Now actually I'm getting a little bit of dill spice. What'd it do for you on the palate?
So it woke the peppers up a little bit. I wasn't getting a lot of peppers before.
Wow, woke the rye bread up.
Yeah.
Wow.
It has, I definitely like this with a drop of water over neat. But yeah, you get a lot more of the rye notes now, and it cranks up the peppers.
Wow.
Which is now what I like in a bourbon, or I mean a rye.
If you were to blind taste test a piece of rye bread, and you poured this over the rye bread, it would taste no different. This tastes precisely like the rye bread we just bought now.
I bet it would taste wet.
Well, that would be the texture. Because something tastes wet, you can tell something's wet when you taste it. I don't know if it tastes wet.
Is juicy a word that you could say then? How does it taste?
Taste
juicy.
Moist? Taste moist?
Moist.
Moist?
It's a fun word to say.
It is a fun word to say. You know why? Because it's moist.
Moist.
Wow, I like this a ton more with water. I mean, it went from rye bread in your mouth. Man, that's delicious now. Huh.
So I had a story.
Oh yeah, corning.
Yes, I have a story.
From the last episode.
From the last episode.
Yeah.
I was talking about how the corn that I was tasting was more like the corn that you would use to go corning. So when I was a kid, we would go corning, which means you go find a tube sock, and then you go out into the cornfield and you shuck some corn. That's where I put mine. Anyway, as I was saying.
88, Gene, what'd you do?
I did 88 too.
Okay.
You would go out to the cornfield and you'd shuck the corn into the tube sock. And then all the neighborhood kids would go around with their tube socks, and they would take a handful of corn and they would throw it at a house, the door of the house.
Is this happening at noon?
No, it's at nighttime.
Oh.
And then you'd go hide behind a bush or car or whatever they had, and then you watched them open the door because corn hit their door, and it was corn called corning.
So they come outside, do they curse you kids?
You
or,
kids!
Is that what they did?
Yeah, pretty much.
And this happens all over America. No, it doesn't. Where are you from, Gene?
Southern Indiana. Yep. Halloween was a big night for corning.
Oh, I bet. I just realized I drank the last of mine and we need something for a cheers.
Oh.
Halloween was a big night for corning.
Yeah.
So when you shuck your corn, is this something you do in advance or something you do the night of?
Well, either way, I mean, you could have some corn already prepared in your tube sock. Of course, I had always used my brother's tube socks because I didn't have any. And then,
here's my question though. The next morning, or the next day, or the next time, either you do your own laundry, or did your mom do your laundry, your dad, somebody at that age?
Yeah, sure.
So did your mom ever say, why is there a ton of corn leftovers in my socks? Or something along that? Did she ever question you out on it when she's doing laundry?
I don't remember.
Did you ever get yelled at or in trouble?
I don't think so.
Classic Indiana maneuver.
What are you gonna do?
So yeah, 88 for me on the corning. You know how much whiskey you wasted by throwing that corn?
Yeah.
88 for me, 88 for you,
88.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much did we pay for it?
We paid $38 for this.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, for me,
Drop of water.
drop of water. Plain, this is probably an 86. Drop of water, an 88.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Changes that much.
Oh yeah. Shout out today. I'm using my phone because it's kind of long-winded. Shout out today to Worth a Dram.
Worth a Dram.
Worth a Dram. First of all, phenomenal name.
That's a nice name.
And they actually have a really cool set, but they're kind of a new channel. I think they've been around for about a year or so. But they came on our Sagamore Spirit Cast Strength episode. Said, hey, just found you guys going through your backlog. This was a fun watch. We've got a bottle of this on our shelf, just waiting for the moment of glory, and I feel like we're going to have to bump it up in priority after watching this. Cheers. So,
cheers.
Shout out to Worth the Dram. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
That's about it for me today. You have anything to add?
Nope.
Nope. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jean, and I hope you're just as thirsty as we are.
I have rye bread in my mouth. Ding.
You don't need lunch now.
No, I don't.